And we are live. How we doing, bros? Another week, another episode of the Everybody and Their Mom podcast. Let's fucking go. The podcast that Everybody and Their Mom is fucking listening to. How we doing, everybody? Coming at you every Sunday. I mentioned last week, so Sundays are now pretty much the days I'm gonna have this. Started last week. Like I mentioned, reason being during the week, just really busy. Just good weekend recap, essentially. Hope you guys doing good. Hope you guys doing well. Having a good time. Let's see, it's Sunday right now. Yep, about 11:30. Nice and it's nice weather now before it gets bad, right? It's Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day for everybody. Spending outdoors, good weather before it gets fucking hot. Hope you guys doing well though. Like I was mentioning, let's see. Let's jump right in. I was gonna do a recap, but let's jump right into today's episode. Let me see. So for today, let's start off with the playoffs, NBA. Last time we were here was, I believe, the conference finals were just about to begin. Okay, so conference finals are pretty much about to be finished. The Knicks blew out the Cavs last night, as well as Game 2. Sorry about that. Game 1 though was the game of dreams. That shit was crazy. With the Cavs being up by 20 in the fourth quarter, and then choking it away late in the game. As you can see right here, that 14-point difference in the fourth quarter was what allowed them to go to win the game in overtime for the Knicks. Followed with by that games 2 and 3, just blowouts. Pretty much the soul was taken out from the Cavs. Not to mention Mitchell looks like he's playing injured. Harden is washed and doesn't really play defense, and the rest of the team is inconsistent. So congrats to the Knicks making it to their first finals in this century. They haven't made it since '99, and they haven't won it since '73. Yeah, like 1973 was the last time, or '72. But back in the '70s is when they last won the championship. So it's been like 50 years, over 50 years, since the Knicks won. So it'd be crazy if they're able to accomplish that. As far as the other series goes, let me see. The Spurs and Thunder, game 1, again historic. Both series started out really well. You know, both games going to overtime. Game 1s, Wembanyama had to hit. I think this went double overtime. Yeah, double overtime. Wemby had to hit a crazy 3 just to give them a chance to tie it. And then late in the game, it was just too much. Followed by game 2 at home, and games 2 and 3 kind of had a similar feeling, except for game 3, the Spurs were by 15, but it just kind of feels like the Thunder walk them down, in the sense that whatever lead the Spurs have, they can't maintain it once Wemby goes to the bench, and Fox as well. Basically, once they're bucket getters, basically like they only have maybe like 3 guys that can score consistently, and once 2 of those guys are on the bench and one of the guys tired, it's like really hard for them to keep up with OKC, considering their bench points. I mean, there's definitely been calls that have been like really really bad, and the fucking Thunder are flopping like crazy. It's kind of annoying to watch, really. But even with that, the Thunder are still a better team. Like Wemby's probably the best player on the floor, but he can only do so much. And the way the refs the Thunder play defense, it's just kind of like what the fuck. Like they're able to almost play football against him, and and the way that they're able to sell the foul by flopping on the other side is like it's just kind of annoying to watch. But at this point, I'm just rooting for anybody but the Thunder. So go Knicks, go Spurs. The two teams that I was rooting for. I had a feeling the Cavs weren't gonna really do anything. They just nah. No team with James Harden, I feel like, is gonna really compete for a title. They'll just take advantage of that defensively, um, and that's all she wrote there. So tonight is game 4 for the Thunder Spurs at 5 tonight, and tomorrow game 4 for the Cavaliers at 5 as well. I mean, so far, I mean, the first round was pretty cool. Second round kind of sucked because there was a lot of like sweeps, and then the conference finals have been started out okay, and now they've been kind of meh. And just there's kind of been like the lack of competition in the East, and the frustration of the foul calls and flopping out in the West. So we'll see. Hopefully we get a little better at it. Let's see. It's on to our next topic. The hockey playoffs, which has been pretty entertaining thus far. Let me see. The Hurricanes tied it last night in overtime. Oh wow, I wasn't able to catch that one. They tied it yesterday against Canadians in overtime. After the Canadians, wow, 6-2, just fucking killed them. Um, I think that was because the Hurricanes hadn't lost a game, so they were really rusty coming off of that long break. Whereas the Canadians had come off like a tough series, so they're battle tested. Same thing with the Avalanche. They were kind of like running high off extended break. And whereas the Golden Knights, they've been in tough series since the playoffs started. Shout out to Siles. His Golden Knights, they're up two games now. Back home here at home in Vegas. It should be interesting against the Avalanche. I hope they win. I mean, if they win, they'll be up 3-0, right? Pretty much shooing for this Stanley Cup Finals. So let's go. Let's go. At this point, I'm rooting for them just because of Siles. All my teams. I mean, I don't like the Avalanche or the Hurricanes or the Canadians. So let's go Golden Knights. Go Siles. Game 3 is tonight in Vegas at 5 o'clock, same time as the NBA Finals. So that'll be very interesting to watch at the same time. And then let's do a quick rundown. Nah, fuck it. Let's go to the Cowboys schedule. Speaking of Siles, I mentioned Siles just because he's one of my buddies, one of my loyal listeners, and because of that, I want to break down the Cowboys schedule fully, because I know they have like the most amount of primetime games. And last week I went over the Saints. Shout out to Ronnie. He was able to catch that. The replay. I know Sundays are kind of hard for people because to catch the live. People are busy, with Sunday errands, church, family, just like cleaning around the house. Like I mentioned, errands to run, shit to do, etc. Because it's kind of people's like one and only day they could kind of relax in a way. A lot of people working through Saturday and stuff. So I know Sundays are hard, but to catch the live, but on the replay, really appreciated Ronnie. So with this one, shout out to Siles again. Let's go through the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys schedule. The schedules were all released like 2 weeks ago. I plan to go through a few of the teams here. I think next week I'm gonna go through the Packers. That's for Seha. another one of my loyal listeners and my buddies. And then from there, I kind of want to do the Niners, Chargers, Raiders, Rams, Patriots, and Vikings. I want to touch through all the teams from my buddies who are in my fantasy leagues. Basically, I gotta touch the Seahawks also, the defending champions, and because my buddy is a Seahawks fan. But yeah, I'll be touching through different teams every week. So last week was the Saints. This week, Cowboys. Let's jump right in. So hold on. Let's talk about the Cowboys first. So what do I think about them going into this season? I think they can score with anybody, but their problem is they can't stop anybody. Their defense is really bad, which puts a lot of pressure on the offense. So if they commit a turnover or a penalty and kills a drive or gives the other team an extra possession or good field possession, it's gonna be really tough for them to win. And that was evident last year, where hey, just because you can score 30 on everybody doesn't mean you want to every week because you have to. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay to win 20-10. Sometimes it's okay to win 24-17. You don't have to win 31-28 every time or 34-27 every time. Um, they were able to find a gem in Javonte Williams. Yeah, being able to run the ball, but that's just because their O line's really good. Um, they have premier pass catchers with CD and Pickens, Ferguson. Dak has become one of the premier passers in the league. Which is kind of crazy to think about because before he was kind of considered like average, but yeah, I mean he's considered one of the. In terms of numbers, the way he's able to put up a lot of passing yards, as well as keep them in relatively in games. I know they lose like around like 8 or 9 games. They kind of sit around 500 past couple years ever since that run of the playoffs that they had where they were just lose to the Niners like every single time or the Packers too. That was the but I don't know. I think this year though they should be okay offensively. It's just defensively. I mentioned it. We got to find out. And they have one of the best kickers probably ever. So that'll probably having a good kicker. I think will win you like a game or two. I think in this league, considering how close it is. So week one they open up the season. It's the Sunday night game. Yeah, Sunday night football week one at Giants. I think the Cowboys win. Why do I think that? Cowboys, well, the Giants are going to be at home. They always get like the 9/11 Memorial game. With the Giants, new coaching regime. Uh, Offensively, we got to see what they have. Defensively, they should be pretty solid. They were solid with their last regime, even with the previous one. But I don't know. I think offensively, I mean, you have Dart and Scattaboo coming off of injuries, so that'll be interesting to see. And then Neighbors, I heard, is still kind of banged up from knee injury. So we shall see. They do have, not to say they don't have any weapons. It's just that they're still like a wait and see team. And don't get me wrong, Harbaugh is a good coach, but I think I think his time is kind of came and went, right? At least as a Baltimore thinks, and we'll find out. But I think at least for week one, give me the Cowboys. And then week two versus the Commanders. Ooh. Week two Commanders. Cowboys are at home for this one. Um I think the Cowboys probably win this one too. I think the Commanders have a lot of players coming off of injury, namely the quarterback. The defense isn't as good as it used to, as it was for that one year. I think it's because they signed a lot of veteran players. They just got signed a lot of 1 year deals, or to kind of sap the last bit of juice they had left in that talent. So yeah, I think week two they probably win. I think the Cowboys win. I think they split with the Commanders. Personally, so yeah, I think week two is a win, close win. I think I like the Commanders' ability to run the football and Daniel's ability to spread the ball around, but I don't know. I think this early in the year, and this is the home opener for the Cowboys too. So yeah, give me week two win. Week two win. All right, week three. Yeah, that's a afternoon game too, a 1:30 game or a 3 o'clock game. Damn, they have another 3 o'clock game here. Okay, here versus the Ravens. Week three, I think is be a L. Reason being, Lamar Jackson, elite quarterback. It is a new coaching staff, so they do have that to worry about. But the Cowboys, at least fairly historically recently, have had trouble stopping the run, running the football. And considering this is this early in the season, Cowboys are at home, but I don't know, like teams usually play as good or better at the Cowboys Stadium. I don't know. It's kind of like the Lakers and the Yankees. It's like teams elevate their play because they know they're going up against these teams in such historic arenas. So I don't know. I think with like such big venues, well, I mean the Cowboys team is pretty historic at this point. Had a couple Super Bowls there, like host Super Bowls. Um, the Ravens though, I just think they're an overall better team. Um, they need better pass catchers, and their defense does leave a lot to be desired. I think that this is going to be a shootout. Actually, this could probably end up being um, Lamar's ability to work off play action and extend the plays by breaking off an occasional run here. But I think he's gonna I think he can torch this secondary. The same with Dak, because the Ravens secondary, I've seen them get torched every year by fucking Joe Burrow. They ain't that good, honestly. They're good at like they're physical, but they can lose to like finesse, and they make a lot of boneheaded mistakes. They're secondary, so give me the Ravens in a close win here. Ravens win, so Cowboys' first loss of the season. Um, Not a bad loss to the Ravens. Ooh, here we go. The Battle of Texas. There's a 10 a.m. game too. Oh wow, or like a you know what I mean. It's 10 a.m. over here. Noon. Oh my gosh! Imagine waiting until like 12 o'clock to watch football. That would suck. I'm just kidding. It's what most of the country does, anyways. I like having the West Coast time, but the Mountain time is pretty cool too because it's only like an hour difference. So, um, so what? Like it will start at 11. It was over here at 10. So, uh, noon game at Houston. I think the Texans have what the Cowboys want, which is an elite defense, but they don't have anybody that can run the ball. And they do have some pass catchers, Collins, a couple of the guys come off injury. I'm a lean Texans here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys win because the Texans' inability to run the football puts a lot of pressure on Stroud. And he's still a young quarterback that makes some mistakes. Granted, that partly has to do with limited weapons because Dell was injured last year, and they kind of like tried to piecemeal what they could. The offensive line isn't great. That ties with not being able to run the ball that well. So imagine getting like 2 yards a carry, and you have literally 3 seconds to get rid of the ball, and they're doubling your best receiver. Your favorite receiver is injured, which it leaves like the tight end open like, occasionally. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys win that one. But the fact that it's at Houston, Battle of Texas, I'm gonna lean Texans. I'm gonna lean Texans, but up to debate there. Let's put a yeah, okay. Then week 5 versus Tampa. That is a Thursday night game. Oh boy, Thursday night football at home. Uh, to be exact. Tampa at home. Baker Mayfield, Bucky, Egbuka, and the gang. Pretty good defense. Their ability to stop the run. Their secondary is what sucks. Hmm. I think this could be a pretty fun Thursday night game, to be honest. Hmm. I think the difference in this game is going to be whoever can control the line of scrimmage by running the ball, because then that'll control the pace and flow of the game. I think both teams. No, I would say the Buccaneers are probably going to have a better chance at have more success at running the football. Um, but I think Dallas is going to have more success passing the ball, which leaves who's going to make that first mistake. And I trust Tampa's defense a little bit more. Cowboys are at home, short week, Thursday night. Yeah, these last two games are true toss ups. I'm leaning here Buccaneers. I'm not gonna lie. I think their ability to run it. They are a younger team though, so I do see them more. They're more capable of making mistakes, especially Baker, because he kind of plays like hero ball. Sometimes he'll like run it and like shoulder, put a shoulder into a defender. That could lead to fumbles at times. He's all right with throwing interceptions. He'll have like a 2-to-1, almost 3-to-1 ratio for interception, more like 2-to-1. Mm, I think I'm gonna lean Tampa here though. Yeah, if the Cowboys win, it would just be because fucking the front four for Tampa just doesn't show up at all, and they're just able to throw it up and down the field. But as of right now, I'm a I'm a lean Tampa. But these last two, week 4 and 5, are they're toss ups, true toss ups. Like flip a coin, yeah, they win. Go ahead, pick it. You know what I mean? Then we have Sunday night. Oh boy, Sunday night football. So extended break, 10-day break at Lambeau at the Packers. And I'm not gonna lie, I think here, week 6 probably a L. Um, so with week 4 and 5 are kind of like toss ups. I think week 6, yeah, this will be early October, so not as cold as it could be, but still kind of, I would say under 50 degrees for a Texas team that plays indoors against a Packers team that can run the ball very well with Jacobs and Jordan Love, who are able to play off play action and extend the ball to receivers who primarily specialize in yards after catch and tight ends who can get open off play action. Give me the Packers at home. Sorry, Cowboy fans. That should be a big game though. That'd be a big one. Ooh, 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 ooh. Week 7 at Philly, Monday night. At least you have an extra day to prepare. You have 8 days to prepare. But at Philly, yeah, I don't. I think the Eagles are just better than the Cowboys. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 5 games in a row. I have them losing. I don't think they'll lose 5 in a row. I think they'll win week 4 or 5. They'll win either Texans or the Buck. I don't know which one, but they'll win one of those. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. So I have them like about 3 and 4 by week 7, or yeah, after week 7. I think 3 and 4 is probably more likely. I would say if they're 2 and 5, fuck, dude. I know what that feels like. Shit, but I just don't. I don't know. I think they're good enough to not lose 5 in a row. Fuck, man. But this schedule doesn't look like it looks like it. Because, dude, I mean, look at this: Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night. Like, bro, that those add up. Thursday night right here, or Sunday. Yeah, Sunday night. Look at Sunday night to open the season. Afternoon game, afternoon game. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. You have 4 of your first 7 games are in prime time. It's like the league is gonna like let all the Cowboys fans know. It's like nationally, they're gonna let them know you're gonna be legit or not, and you'll find out real quick. Like within 2 months, you'll know if you're good or not. And I don't think that they're that good to beat Philly in Philly on Monday night. No, sorry. If they do, that'll be crazy. Those games are always usually crazy because rivalry games. But I just think Philly's better. Here, just like how I think at home against Arizona, I think the Cowboys are just. Ooh, actually, The Cardinals usually play Dallas very well. Oh, but it's a new coaching staff. Nah. If it was the old coaching staff who's able to run the ball really well, like with James Conner, Dean Mercado, like whoever running back they have, they're always able to run it really well against Dallas. But this is a new coaching staff in charge now. They don't have a quarterback. That was one of the major issues they had. They had in the past that gave Dallas fix was they usually had like Kyler Murray that could break out or like somebody that could be competent with the ball. But this time around, nah. You got Jacoby Brissett, and it's pretty much Jeremiah Love. They're gonna hammer him to the ground, and McBride and Harrison. So I mean, McBride's solid. We'll see what's up with Marvin Harrison. He's still having to live up to himself. I think it's a Wilson on the outside too. But defensively, oh my gosh. I think Arizona's one of the worst teams in the league right now. So yeah, I mean historically, I mean yeah, they've had a lot of success, like I mentioned, against Dallas, running the ball in Dallas. But I just think this time around, nah, I think Dallas is going to be able to, because like I mentioned, I think part of that had to do with Arizona's coaching staff, them being able to prepare good enough to beat Dallas with the zone running scheme. So what they were able to do is they knew that Dallas wants to rush the passer. So what they would do is essentially like kind of bait their pass rushers, which would leave these wide open lanes for their running backs to gash them and uh, after the guards usually pull, opening up like a gap within the zone. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely see by week 8 them being like 4-4, 3-5 type of team by week 8 for Dallas. Let's go to week 9 now. At Indy. Ooh. Week 9. Against another team that can run the ball with Jonathan Taylor, Danny Dimes. He can run it too. He can spread it around to Pittman, Pierce. I forgot who the tight end was. I think they got a new tight end. Their defense is pretty solid too. This is a morning game for them. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Indy. I think Indy's building something. They have a solid core. If Indy plays their cards right, they could be like what Seattle was last year. Soon. They're missing a couple pieces, but if they have one more playmaker on offense and I would say more consistent output from their defense, because they can get gashed a lot. I've seen it against like the Jags, and sometimes against the Texans as well. So it's just it's crazy. This will be crazy. Ooh, oh boy, 1:30. Oh boy, afternoon game against the Niners. Damn. Week 10. Yeah, that's another L. Damn, dude, there's not a lot of like their easiest game is like Arizona. It looks like. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Niners historically have a lot of success against the Cowboys. Same reason, their ability to run the ball and the quarterback's ability to spread the rock around, working off play action, and getting to the ball to receivers that work off of yards after catch and tight ends that can get open off of play action. So, and their defense is really good. Yeah, the Niners. But just like how that analysis is, how similar like how I picked them, like how I picked the Eagles and the Niners against them. Same way I would pick Dallas. Here we go. Week 11 win against the Titans. Titans are a rebuilding team, young quarterback, a lot of young weapons around him. Defense can just be had. Uh, Running backs, they have pretty decent backs, but overall this is a rebuilding franchise. I mean, they have a new logo this year for God's sake. Like, I'm not expecting much out of Tennessee for like 2 years minimum. Oh, here we go. Week 12, at home against Philly. Thursday night. Um, This time in Dallas, though. I think this one's going to be a much closer game, especially this will be week 12 in the season, 3 months in. A lot of injuries at this point. I think if there's any game that Dallas can steal, would be this one. If they're going to steal one against Philly, I I think Philly is still just better, to be honest. So I would still pick the Philly. But if there's any one game to like save their season, it is that one right there. At home, Thursday night against Philadelphia. This is what the day after Thanksgiving, or it'll be Thanksgiving. Yeah, because 11/26, 11/25 is usually Thanksgiving. So unless this year's different, I gotta look into that one. But that's it's a primetime game against the Eagles, rivalry game at home. What do you got? National game. What do you got? This is it. Because I'm looking so far, and they're going to be 3-3. I mean, sorry, 3-5, 4-4, and then one, two, yeah, another two losses there. That'll put them at 4-6, 3-7. I got them beating Tennessee, so that'll put them at about 5-7. Uh, sorry, that'll be 5-6, or no, yeah, other one, yeah, either 5-6 or 4-7. Yeah, and that's a big difference at that at that point in the season. Because if you're 5-6 and if you win that game, put you at 500. Hey, it's run the table. If you can win out, there's who's to say you can't make the playoffs, right? So there's going to be a turning point in the season for them, week 12. Ooh, because Monday night, oh boy, at Seattle. Bro, I'm sorry. You got to win that one against Philly. I'm sorry, because that Monday night, I mean, you get 10 days to prepare, but in Seattle, that defense, their ability to run the ball, and Darnold isn't, he's not seeing ghosts anymore. He's the Ghostbuster apparently. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is gonna be a tough one. This is a tough schedule for Dallas, and they have a week 14 bye. Fuck, dude, they need to buy like right here, like week 9 or 10, or like week 6 or 7, honestly, because this is a tough outing. Damn, dude, this is a tough schedule. Because the way I have them, they'll be 5-7. They'll be 5-8 by week 13. I know how that feels like. Trust me, I'm a Saints fan. Oh, okay, so then week 14 bye. Fucked. Okay, so they got at Rams on an afternoon game, week 15. I think it's an L. I think the Rams are just better defense. They can score just as well as Dallas can. The receivers are just as good. The running backs just as good. Coaching is better. Yeah, give me the Rams. Versus the Jaguars, though, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting because it's which version of the Jaguars are we going to get? Sometimes they're kind of unreliable. Their defense is good, and we'll see how they're able to run the ball now. I think it's with Tutton now, and Lawrence, took a step forward last season. Or is he going to take a step back? This will be an interesting team to see this year. Second year, Travis Hunter. They have a full season of I forgot his name. They signed him from the Raiders mid-season. He ended up being the best receiver. So yeah, I mean they got weapons all over, good defense. Yeah, give me the Jags. Give me the Jags. And then week 17 and 18, I think they probably sweep the Giants because that'll be at home. That'll be a close game though. And then week 18 at the Commanders, I think it's probably an L. Because at this point of the season, it'll be 5-8, 5-9, 5-10, 6-10, 6-11. So I have them winning the Cowboys. I have them winning around 6 to 8 games. If I'm being completely honest, to any Cowboys fans or to anybody, I'm not being a hater or anything. I don't hate Dallas. I don't hate. I'm not one of those people that just hate. Hates them for existing or whatever. Dak's a good quarterback. CD's a good quarterback. Receiver. Same with Pickens. Javante Williams is solid. Offensive line is solid. It's just the defense, man. The defense leaves a lot to be desired, and this schedule is incredibly hard. I mean, let's look at it again. You have week one primetime game, two afternoon games, week five primetime game, week six primetime game, week seven primetime game, week 10 afternoon game, week 12 primetime game, week 13 primetime game, week 15 afternoon, week 16 primetime game. That'll probably be flexed out. So there's 7 primetime games scheduled for Dallas, and the teams they had to play are teams like the Ravens, the Texans. I'll take the Buccaneers because they were fuck them. Ravens, Texans, Packers, Eagles twice, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Jaguars. All those teams were like, did not make the playoffs last year, right? Like, let me see. Jags did, Rams did, Seahawks did, Eagles did, Niners, Packers did. So that's 7 playoff. Ravens could this year. So you're going up against there's like 7, 8 games against potential playoff teams, and then you still got to play your division. And on top of that, like a tough, like what the fuck? It's not a gimme. Like this is really hard this year. That's insane. That is insane. Right? It's just on paper. Everything changes with injuries. Everything changes once the season rolls out. It goes week by week, one game at a time. So we'll see. Like I predicted, the Saints could win 8 to 10 games. I don't know. That's who knows who says that they stay healthy the whole time. um, let's jump into the next topic. Our weekly standings review when we keep up with the MLB because they play 162 games, man. And they play like almost every day, which is crazy. All right, let's see. So the Rays and the Yankees and the Guardians are still at the top. Those are pretty much the 3 teams that have at least 30 wins. Okay, so Rays, Yankees, Guardians. So as per usual, I would be rooting for the Rays amongst those 3. Shout out to Farron's Angels, who are the worst team in the American League. Their owner's so bad that there's like a whole group of like Angels fans, like dedicated Angels fans, who just buy the cheapest tickets and just go off like yelling, sell the team for the owner." That's funny. All right, let's go to National League. How many teams have over 30 wins? The Padres, the Dodgers, the Brewers, and the Braves. Okay, so I have 4. Well, I want a 3. That's not bad. So Braves, Brewers, Dodgers, Padres. So those 4. The Cardinals and Cubs are within striking distance as well because they're like a 29. And then let me see my Marlins. 24 wins. Let's go. 2 games behind second place. So they're probably not going to make it to the Braves. It's 12 games behind. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But they can probably make second place. Let's go. Dodgers still in first place. Good for them. And then the last place team are the Rockies. So Rockies and the Angels, worst teams right now. Let me see, 36, 7. So they're about like 50 games into the season so far. So they have about 110 games left. Okay. 110 games. My Marlins are only 2 games behind from, 3.5 games behind from, 2.5 from second place. So still achievable. Let's go. Let me see. Okay. This will be the last topic. It it was a controversial decision that happened yesterday. Usyk fought in the desert. I can't, pull up the videos of them because of copy and stuff. Um, but Usyk lost. Well, he was losing. I would say he was winning 3 rounds going into the. He had dropped his opponent in the 11th round. The judge was the ref was giving him like time in the corner, um, but then Usyk was like unloading on him like of punches, and literally like after like the bell had rung, like it was ding 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 ding, and Usyk landed like 2 or 3 more punches, and the ref just stopped it. Like he just called it like right there, and it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It's like it was like at 3 in the afternoon because they were fighting in Egypt. It was actually pretty cool. They fought in front of the pyramids, the way the setup was. At like it was really nice the way they set everything up. Um, but yeah, Usyk was like 5,000 to 1 favorite. It was supposed to only go 5 rounds. I even asked my buddy who's really into boxing, like he goes to trainers. Photographs. He'll like spar. Like he's like around the boxing scene. And he was like, yeah, bro, Usyk should just win like easily. But bro, that was insane. Like, shout out to Rico. He who knows if he would have lasted that the last round, because don't get me wrong, he looked like he was on his way, but you'd rather let him go out than let the ref end it like that. It ended so bad, like all over like online it was trending like how much of a robbery that was, because it was like. And to make it even worse was the judges have it like tied it. Two of them had to tie it going into the last round, and only one of them picked Rico by like one round. So they were gonna gift it to Usyk regardless. Like they were never gonna let this guy win. Which sucks, because it's kind of another bad bad stint in boxing, because it's like, bro, like come on, like the heavyweight champion shouldn't be losing like that. They shouldn't be, gifted wins just because they can make more money out of them. But whatever, I'm glad I don't pay for the boxing. I just watch and react. Um, the one thing I do watch and react to, I stayed up to watch some of it. Let me see. I stayed up a little bit to watch the Aiden Ross event. Here, let me show y'all. I probably won't get fucking. Dude, this shit was hilarious. So it was, I guess Aiden has like it's called brand risk. Um, I call it ratchet fights. So yesterday, because there was no UFC, and the Usyk fight was like at 3 in the afternoon over here. Um, Aiden was able, because he's like friends with Dana. They were able to rent out the UFC Apex and have their events there instead of like some shitty warehouse arena or whatever that they usually had them at. And this one had fucking super hot fire. The I'm not a rapper against Ray J, the rapper, the actual rapper. And dude, this shit was hilarious. Check this out, bro.
I got the
Oh, he's
Fucking
okay,
right.
it is.
He's
Oh, there
fucking.
it
Look
is.
at this guy. Look at him.
Okay.
Bro, watch it. Look at
So he
this.
was fucking around.
right left.
Bro.
Okay. So he was just talking shit.
Look
Okay.
at Kendrick.
Oh, wow.
He was playing. I
Where?
told you.
But I think he's doing this
Pink.
like.
I
Bro, that shit was so funny. Oh my god. Fucking old ass Ray J getting knocked out. Yeah, Johnny Manziel. Let me see. Right here. Yeah, Manziel just knocked this dude out. This shit was the funniest thing to watch, bro. It was like amateur MMA.
Johnny's kicking.
You don't see that often. These guys can't fight for shit.
Oh my God, Johnny's kicking. Oh.
Yeah, this was the main
Holy
event.
shit.
Manziel versus
Shit.
Bob Manning, I guess, some I don't know, online guy. Fucking shitty ass kick. Look at that leg kick. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay. Oh, that landed. That was cool. This is where the fight ended. Johnny just landed on him and then just ground the pound. And it was over, dude. The ref stopped it. These guys have no grappling experience, so once you get caught in a position like that, you know, a guy has his nuts in your fucking chest. It's over, dude. Look at this. Look at this. It's like a little kid with their dad, bro. Look at this. He's like, what do you stop that? Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Look at this. The other one, let me see. Let's go on their account. Happy Punch. They're pretty good right here. Yeah, dude. Yesterday was like some ratchet shit. Like fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine was like was performing. Fucking Sean Strickland was there. There was a lot of like just random people there, like just random celebrities. Like fucking Chris Brown was there. Dude, this shit was hilarious, bro. The no neck. I guess this guy, he literally has like, he walks around like this, like, and I'm like, bro, like you need to like look at this guy, bro. Like how does one achieve this build? The guy's built like a fucking a milk dud, bro. Look at this. Bro, ass crack hanging out. Look at this, bro. These are the fucking ratchet fights, bro. Damn. Shout out to No Neck. I think he got like 2 wins in a row. But yeah, dude, how does one achieve this build? I would like to achieve this build. I would love to know. This guy looks like he's like built to a car crash. You know what I mean? You know, you ever seen those like characters, the like the scientific like your anatomy that you would need to survive a car crash? Right here, we're on our way, boys. I think the last one too, there was like some midgets fighting on it. Let me try to find it. Oh, right here, dude. Yeah, we're
Something to note.
he's so Beasley. He just tapped him out right here.
Michael Smith. Oh, wait! No!
Oh,
He's gonna get it. He doesn't have
Make him dance, Lance. Make him. That shit's so funny, bro. When like you see guys that like, because these are like NBA players, right? So they're like 6'3", 6'5" at least. Look at that, bro. Like flailing his arms around because he.
Oh, he does.
Ref, save me, ref. Fuck, dude. Imagine that, bro. Imagine getting choked out on live. Like, it would suck, man. Hey, but shout out to this event, dude. It was actually pretty entertaining. Like, for what it was, like, it wasn't terrible. Like, it was like watching like celebrity fights. Hold on, where's the midgets they were fighting? Hold up, midgets, Aiden Ross. Where's the midgets? Here we go, right here. Yeah, bro, this shit was watching like the circus. This shit was crazy, bro. And the midget fight was actually pretty good. He had some pretty good slams, like, you know what I mean? He had a couple a couple good moments. So yeah, that was yesterday. This Saturday there's another UFC event, but it's gonna be like at 4 a.m. because it's in China or whatever. I think it's in China because Yadong and Ming Yang, I believe, are the main and the co-main because it's on like at 4 a.m. over here. So next week I'll be doing another Sunday podcast, going over. I think next week I'll do the Packers schedule. Yeah, Packers for Seha, another one of my loyal listeners. Let me see. Next week the Backrooms will be coming out too, so I think I'm gonna catch that. I didn't catch The Mandalorian and Grogu. I might catch that with my family or something. There is a new movie, Obsession, that's been out. I heard that one's pretty good. I'm hearing a lot of good things online about that one. It's just weird to me how they're like, why do they release like good horror movies so early in the year? Why not in October or September, August, when like the season is like spooky season? But what do I know about marketing? Let's see. The finals should probably be starting by next week as well. Same with the Stanley Cup, and we'll be running through more MLB. So that's it for this week, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh wait, that's one last thing. The boys. Let's talk about the boys. The boys ended. All right. Hold on. Where is it? Let's talk about the boys. Last topic right here. Um, it's kind of not bittersweet. That's not the word I would use. I would use the word farewell or so long. So long, gay boys. That's what I would say to the boys. So long, gay boys. I felt kind of bad with this one because I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really liked this show. The first 3 seasons. I thought the first 3 seasons were like premier television. I was like, yeah, like every streaming service has like their original, like, hey, like this is your reason to watch, like to sign up and go with us. Like Netflix was Stranger Things, HBO was like Game of Thrones, and Amazon was like Invincible and The Boys, right? It was like one of those like reasons to like, hey, like sign up for us. This is good shit. And early on, it was really good. I mean, I think I started watching it by the time season 2 rolled out, and when I was watching it, it was still like a satire on like superheroes, like what like Marvel and DC were doing, like expanding their universes, doing spin-offs, even making fun of like the filters that they use in fucking films, like with DC and the Dawn of the Seven and how they would market their shit, how corny it would be, and how like kind of cringe it would be, and even with like other franchises like the Monster Verse or the fucking like Godzilla and shit, how they would try to like use social media metrics, corporatism, like social media even to like to sell this idea of heroes, and it's like okay, like this is a unique take on it. It's like it's kind of like Watchmen but modern. So it's like how would heroes really exist nowadays with, if they have to answer to stockholders, shareholders, boosters, fucking um news media, social media, like how would they work in that type of environment? How are they with government oversight, um government experimentation, military experimentation, exploitation? Like how would you account for all this? And those first 3 seasons I think did a pretty good job doing that. I think after that they kind of became, it's like the Batman quote, they're night you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's what they did. They were like, let's make fun of them and satire these other franchises and other studios, and make a pretty good show from off of that idea. But then it just fell right off. It just became like ha- half of the show was anti-Trump, the other half was like, well, for this season, set up for other shit. It was just set up for like other shows, other spin-offs. And now after seeing the trailer for Vought Rising that came out like on Thursday or Friday, and how this season ended, it's like, well, that's where the budget went. Like all the storylines that were in um what's it called? That were set up in this season, they were either rushed or left unfulfilled. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of characters died, but in such a way where it was like, well, that happened and that came and went. It wasn't like fulfilling, really. Um, the last episode, yeah, felt that way. Just like so much was left to be done and addressed that just wasn't. And if it was just so quick that it was like, well, that happened. And that's really sucks because I would say, season 1 through 3 are like an A, but then seasons 4 and 5 are like C minuses. So really, like in all, I would say the show is a B minus. And if anybody like my dad, he would see trailers for it, like because they would promote it on Amazon, and he'd be like, "Hey, what's that? Is that good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's The Boys. It's a good show. I'm watching it, but it's the same thing that I told him with Game of Thrones. It's like it's a good show up to a certain point. Same with Walking Dead. It's a good show up to a certain point, and then once you get to that point, it's just get out while you're ahead. It's like get out before you know how bad it gets, and that's kind of sucks because it happened with Game of Thrones, Stranger Things. I didn't watch a lot of these other shows, but yeah, dude, it's just it's hard to stick a landing, and it just continues that. I saw this meme. It was like a meme of like shows how most shows eventually fall off after like season 3 or 4, and it's because of like the cast is bored of doing it, the audience expectation. There's no like surprise anymore. It becomes kind of stale. But hey, it lasted. This has 7 years, 5 seasons. Not bad considering they went through the pandemic and shit. They had to work through like 2 years of that. So it would have been like one season a year. So I give them that. But would I recommend it up until season 3, and then I'd say just stop. So that sucks. B minus. But yeah, that's all I really have to say left about it. Had good characters. Homelander was the best. He carried the show. Billy was cool in the beginning, then kind of fell off in the end. Soldier Boy was cool until they started to make him like setting up his side arc with Vault Rising and stuff. But I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it just because of such of the bad the bad taste in my mouth that it left. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll have to end it there, boys. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys next time on the next episode on the Everybody and Their Mom podcast, the podcast that everybody and their mom is fucking listening to. Thanks, guys. Peace.